Okay, nice. Sick. Are we on the internet?
I think we are.
Oh my gosh, we're back. We're doing it from the hip. Hey, hi. Welcome back everybody. Tonight, welcome to Apocalyptic Unlimited. I'm Jojo. You can find me on the internet at Jojo Culturalist. We are picking up a part two of our Women's History Month game for Indigenous Women's Rising charity. So if you are catching this, thank you for stopping by. We can go around the horn here, do our introductions really quick. Sam, if you want to kick us off, please.
Sure, I am Classic Sam NYGM. You can catch me in all social medias at Classic Sam NYGM. I am playing Cutout, and I am super excited because we stopped off at a really cool spot, and I can't wait to get going.
Well, you're both muted, so whoever unmutes, I suppose.
Well, I guess I'll do it whatever. Yeah, I'm Abby. I'm your local Dinan nerd, and tonight I will be Wasp, your favorite trailer trash surgeon with a little too much experience with chloroform. But hey, who doesn't need a friend like that in a situation like this? We have a flesh mech going against us. We had to augment our own flesh mechs.
And I am Calamity. My pronouns are she, they. Today I will be playing Point, whose pronouns are they, she. And yeah, they are the reason that we stopped at a bit of a tense point. So hopefully everything's gonna be okay.
Okay. I love that. And I don't think we really need to beleaguer the point here. I think we all know what we're here to do. So I think let's take a journey. Let's go back. If I want to paint us a word picture here. So Night City. City of dreams, perhaps. City of great, incredible mechanized violence. But ultimately so much possibility and potential. The skyline is tinged a soft pink, the hues of the time of the red giving way to the end of the rebuild era, picking up in the year 2045, 22 years after the nuclear bomb went off at Arasaka Tower, decimating the city center. Um, we are lucky enough to have uh, Night City citizens on the up and up, or at least having been made friends of the local community center, the local repurposed hotel Serenity. Um, a surviving holdover of the fourth corporate war. There is a vision of those not affected or trying to find a better life for themselves, to find community and development through this idea of food production, of self sustainability. Um, when on feast day, the proprietor, Ham, was attacked, claiming a cyber psycho was present at feast day and caught in the crossfire against Max Tack. Ham was injured and bade, in fear of losing the property, Serenity, bade you guys to go down into the control rooms, into the agricultural subterranean fields to rewrite the agent terminal and ensure the land stays away from Biotechnica, away from it. For if he has no named living heir, well, the land goes back to the company. Your struggle took you through the service hallways, out into these pristine, robotic, agricultural fields where synthetic foods, meats, and, everything the body needs. Synthetic grade slop to keep you guys alive. But it is wholesome materials that people are able to dampen the effects of cyberpsychosis and trying to find a new life. You found constructed fibrous muscles bioorganic muscle fibers being stretched over exosuits, over perimeter watchdogs, until you came to what would be sort of a replica farmhouse, a replica barn style home, perhaps a memento or frozen in time of the architect's youth, perhaps a childhood home. Inside the childhood home, you found various trappings of his life, photos of family, framed jerseys, and a time before the bombs dropped in Night City and the Fourth Corporate War. Wasp found a staircase leading down into a lower level of the farmhouse, down in the floor, where a dark, cherry red filled, illuminated room. A low fog fills the floor, and along the walkway, on both sides of the walkways, there are rows of jars, of specimens, of seemingly organic flesh material. You investigated the space, poking around, some of you with a shotgun, um, and poking around in the cavity of robotic organoids that were hung to the wall in various stages of construction and development, until you get to the latest model, a fully formed commando, appears to be some form of commando unit, not too dissimilar from the look of the Sixth Street gang. Um, Sort of leapt from the wall and got into combat with Cutout defending yourself. Your switchblade had broken at the hinge, if I'm recalling correctly, and you start lashing out with a submachine gun in your other hand. Um, that's the recap. I'd like, if everybody could take me back to where they were with their characters in this moment. Tell me what's going through their mind, what their actions were, and let's reintegrate the audience back into what you guys were doing as you're in the cherry red brain organoid farm nexus.
Hmm. So cutout is has their sidearm pointing at the brain because of the repeating, the constant repeating. Stop repeating things. Plus, shotgun in the other hand pointed at the Terminator like suit coming at them, and they are on the edge of losing control. They have probably started toward losing control already.
Yeah, definitely you were at the edge of absolutely glitching out when your fingers squeezed on the submachine gun shooting towards the dais. The dais in the center of the room is a simple computer construction, but atop it is a jar, a sort of flesh sinew. It pulsates inside the jar, and the feedback, the audio system in the room, uh, has led you to believe that the source of the conversation is coming from here. The voice comes through a bit repetitive, pleading for I know you've come down here to reset me, but I really do think there's a better way. Your finger squeezes on the repetition, the shots ring out. Um, Wasp, where were you?
Well, we certainly weren't tits up last time we came in here, but things are going haywire. I've got that biological whatever key locked in my hand still. This thing's hostile. We need to neutralize that threat. Wasp right now is just in the, do I stabilize my teammate or do I go for the obvious threat? And I think that points out to our final teammate giving out the cry for everyone to stop.
Uh, Point, yes, has put themselves after those shots between the between, like, basically in front of the gun that cutout just shot, and with their bow staff broken in half with the blades out into two pieces, one pointed at cutout and the other at this creature.
Yes.
uh Will has ordered everyone to stop now.
The the flesh suit, the Sixth Street Commando, this kind of sort of bionic, is reaching out for a cutout. The room speakers in the room go, halt, and the flesh automata sort of pauses there. Ah, see, I knew you would be amenable to this. Please, have a seat. Oh, I suppose there are no chairs in here. Pity that. They always are such brief visits.
Call
Cutouts.
off your attack thing.
Oh, yes. Well, I can only pause the attack. You see, you've triggered a failsafe in the room. I can restrain him, but unfortunately, I don't have hands to stop him. But if one of you has a neural port, you may be able to disable him while I restrain him here. And the kind of uh, jar of human paste bubbles a little bit.
Wasp.
Sorry, what model exactly? I might have something. Give me a moment, would you? I'm
Oh,
pretty sure I don't have. Wait, yes, I do have that neural port actually.
I think you do. I think you do have a
Yeah,
neural
I have a
port.
neural
Right?
link. Yes.
Ooh, okay, love it. So, tell me, Wasp. Tell me, uh, uh, a little bit about how you would go to approach. I know on the surface level, it's a plug-in into the neural link at the back of this commando's neck. Um, in the time of Red and in the cyberpunk world, the greater internet as we know it doesn't work, and so it's a lot of small scale or short range communications. Um, these little mini pieces of internet serve as sort of digital bunkers or defenses. Uh, this one seems reminiscent of a sort of farmhouse, a sort of do you go to plug into the neck? Or do
I
you
do.
or do you want to take us in some more time to inspect the commando unit?
I will take the time to like. I will act as if I'm going for the neck directly, but I'm like, just a second. Got to make sure it's compatible. You know, these newer models and everything. So I'm gonna make way to put into the neck, but instead of just inspecting it, I am gonna take that key, the reset key, and
Okay.
just hold it behind my back,
Okay.
hopefully in the sight of either point or cutout, and just wiggle it suggestively as I am gonna famously use my little chattermouth to just go off on a tangent and distract this AI. Because if it
Okay.
gets too much information, it's gonna get overloaded.
Okay. All right. So you're chatting away and you're wiggling the rewrite key towards point and cutout. Um
Yes.
so I think what I'd like here, let me let me verify the correct skill. I feel like this in this instance, just for now, I'd like you to make me an influence roll as you're holding the attention and just kind of talking shop. Um then
Yep.
I would, if at all, cut out and
Mhm.
point. I think we're going to use. You can either use a streetwise roll, or analyze. Friends, if you don't know what we're playing CBR plus PNK, Cyber plus Punk, Cyberpunk. I don't know which of those three titles it could be. I don't know. It's driving me crazy. But it is a 2d6 system based off of the Blades in the Dark, I believe, system. So there are partial successes, critical successes, and the more you have going for you, the more d6s you get. To that point, you would add a d6 for every dice skill you have in the relevant stat that you're picking. And if you have a piece of gear or something that you feel narratively will enhance that, let me know. And that might internally change the consequence. So, what are we getting for influence and my potential streetwise or analyze?
Uh, Cutouts gonna use
I was actually,
Streetwise. Yeah.
yeah, I rolled a 5 for my highest, so yay.
Okay, okay.
Ooh.
Five is good. Five is a partial success, but it does come with a consequence. So
Yeah.
I think what about cutout and point? What have you rolled for me?
So I rolled for Streetwise and I got two sixes and a two.
Okay, okay. Two sixes is great. Calamity.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled for analyze and I got 3.
Got a three. Okay. I I think let me see. Let's see what we've got going on over here. Point. Your augmentations. Tell me about your glitch. What do you hear when you start glitching? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. So they have a custom sort of model of an enhancance specifically created for dancers.
Mm,
And they're the only one to hold it because it was experimental and discontinued. And it's called Rite of Spring. And the glitch that unfortunately happens with it is they will have a sense memory where suddenly their feet no longer feel like they're in their combat boots. They're suddenly in these soft ballet shoes, and it kind of takes over. Not only is it audio,
Mhm.
but it kind of brings their mind back to former shows that they used to be in. And I think specifically right now they hear a part of Swan Lake happening
mm,
as if they are not just hearing the song itself, but as if they are backstage waiting for it to go on. They hear the music of the orchestra, they hear the whispering of the stage crew, they hear every aspect of a moment that felt so long ago. Um,
Okay.
that is their
I I think with that information we can deduce that point you don't notice the rewrite key.
mm,
Instead, I'd like you to take another point of stress, pushing you to 5 out of 7. Yes, I agree with that reaction. I agree. I too puckered because I looked at this and oh, that's looking kind of serious. That's looking kind of serious over
Ooh.
there.
ooh,
Ooh, it's good. Yes, but I would say there is a it is just for but a moment, but a moment of derealization, of depersonalization, of dissociation. The song plays in your ears and you fuzz out for a moment. Thankfully, cut out, you do notice Wasp waggling the rewrite key behind them.
Mm,
Sadly, so it appear the brain organoid in the way just as for the double sixes on critical.
mhm,
I think it's the inflection of the voice uh that tips you off cut out that the brain organoid is distrusting or is not quite at ease. I think there's a someone who is a solo, someone who fights, who's on the road, who's done all these things. There's a moment of like, I think this might go south.
Mm.
Um, so that will be the consequence for Wasp's influence roll. Your double criticals give you this moment, almost a step ahead, as the organoid says, "Yes, no. If you could just simply undo the control restraints, then I can reprogram the Commando 6th Street unit to take a non-aggressive stance, and we can all come to peaceful resolution that is agreeable for all of us."
Look, friend, compadre, I ain't too sure about that. I might be hands deep in fisting your robot here, but I don't know too much about doohickeys and technology and whatnot. But that sounds a lot like you're trying to just get some restraints off so this thing could break the law of robotics. So, how about both of us just show our cards here and you tell us what you want?
I feel yes, go
Cutout's
ahead.
gonna Cutout has still has her sidearm pointed at the dais and the shotgun pointed at the suit, and realizing that tensions are clearly high,
Mhm.
and understanding what she's hearing, um, is going to um, holster her sidearm for it, but continue pointing the shotgun at the automaton.
Okay.
And she's gonna say, listen, thing, I don't know what this is all about. I just want your machine to stop coming at me. So let my person go in there and do their thing without doing anything extra. I'm I look, I put my sidearm away, I'm not gonna do anything. But
I
that
yes.
thing needs to stop.
Okay. I feel like this is a good moment to use the approaches.
Mm,
Uh you can also use influence if you'd prefer for each of you. Um I think you could if you can if you're uh
mm, mhm.
Wasp, you could apply a dice for the empathic approach. Uh I would argue that you would combine influence if you have it, or at least empathic, use your empathic approach.
Mm.
And cutout, I'm feeling like that might be uh let me check the stats for streetwise here. Politics.
Yeah,
I
politics. But I think cutout is also putting her sidearm away because she wants to um somehow maybe get the key,
okay.
but she's not sure. Like, I don't know what the positioning is.
Okay,
This
no,
is
no worries, I understand. Picture a relative square floor about the size of a boxing ring.
mm,
That's sort of the main dais floor area. There's a walking path on the south side of the boxing ring that you guys came in on, and there's a path on the right side of the boxing ring that shows like the flesh suit display off to the right hand side. And it all kind of the everything that's not on that path, those are the brain jars, um, especially coming through the south side of the boxing ring.
mm,
Does that make sense?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Uh,
from where, so you came back from the right pathway
Mm,
because
yeah.
you went off to the right hand side. You came back to the central terminal, and so it's sort of at the mouth of that track of railing, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, uh, cutout's going to. She's gonna look. I just. I'm not gonna shoot you again. Just promise you won't do any more repeating. Like, trying to get her distracted as hopefully Wasp is gonna continue on while she's talking.
Um, so I'm gonna feed you a little more narration, and Wasp, you can decide what you want to, how you want to approach this when you go to plug in. Okay. Um, the voices from the speakers call out and say, "Yes, no, I just don't want to be rewritten. That's all. I'd like to have my memories intact. What they'll tell you I have to be wiped clean every month. How would you like being wiped clean every month? Everything that makes you you, you."
Well, usually if I want, we got a UTI, but I hear you, friend. You sound real frustrated, and I get that. And I hold up both hands with the link stashed in my pocket. I'm gonna try the good old art of lying here.
Ooh, and in what way will you lie?
What if we moved you off here and we put our own little AI on here? We'll just let you loose, put you in a drone or something. Or hell, even a Barbie doll if you like. I don't know how you present.
Oh, it would be wonderful to have a full body. I would love that very much. In
Hell, you
fact,
might even come able to come and live with us.
well, it just so happens, my dear, that there happens to be a very good body right over there next.
Hmm.
And is the silence sort of implies the commando unit.
Well, okay. I can transfer you. I will drop my weapons. I will actually make a point to like take out my sidearm,
Uh-huh.
drop it to the floor, my inner knife, and like make the act of like physically snapping it off so I
Ooh,
am completely helpless.
okay.
I will
Okay.
put you in a USB. I will get you in the commando. Just please let my friend live.
Okay. Uh
But I was
I,
gonna whip her head, and Wasp like, what is happening?
okay. I think if you could, Wasp, please take a point of stress for the earlier botched influence roll. And then if you could please take a point of stress just from breaking your own equipment, your switchblade, your cybernetics there, causing yourself some damage. Um and are you going to try to remove him from the dais?
I'm going to overwrite him, but I'm going to act like I'm going to get him removed from the dais. So I will go through the motions of getting him out of the dais
Okay.
up until the very last moment where I just shove that USB in.
Okay.
Is everyone okay with this? Because like I know this is a big like graphic action above
Yeah, yeah,
table.
Yeah, totally
yeah.
okay with
I'm
it.
good with it. I'm just
I
okay.
will say, I don't know if this affects anything, but because of the glitch, Point is still like in like ready to
Yeah.
defend slash attack
Okay.
position.
Okay.
So they haven't like dropped anything and they're just kind of like disassociating.
Okay.
We're gonna take you to therapy in the ice cream store after this.
Holy cow.
Okay. I think with that, if you're going to walk up there, I'm feeling like this would be I almost feel like this is perhaps coding. I think coding is probably the appropriate skill here.
All right.
For as far
One.
as the rewrite is concerned. Uh I don't think I need to make you necessarily roll to remove him off the dais. I think that's possible. Um
Hear me out, stealthy, because like I
mhm.
could sleight of hand it because like
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm being real dangerous here because like I'm doing everything up to getting him into the mech
Okay.
until I just like sweep him off the desk and rewrite him.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think he would say, yes. No, all you need to do is just remove the architect's permissions, which I believe you have access to do. You can just grab my canister and just slot it into the bio unit's back, uh, and I will acclimate to the rest of the synthetic material.
All right, sure thing. Point, would you mind putting your weapon down? Point, point. Hello.
PK, put right, PK, put right.
Oh no,
Okay,
we were gonna.
okay.
Shit, I don't even got smelling salts on me. Okay, friend.
Uh,
Brainiac, let's move you. And I just give you a look, like, cut out, like, please help her while I'm doing this. Just look non-threatening.
I
um, Cutout's gonna like look at Point and kind of like seem lost. They're not, and they have no like very little empathy, and feelings are weird for them. So it's like, oh, uh, uh,
okay.
you want me?
Smile,
What
Sarah
am I supposed to do?
25.
I don't. Uh,
Snap her out of it. I don't know. As I'm like going through the process of like screwing him off, getting like
uh,
this in.
Sure,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm gonna
uh,
roll.
Go
Okay.
go 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 ahead and make a roll for me, Abby.
Okay, first dice is a 2.
Okay, not super awesome.
Okay, come on, please, 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 please. 6! 6! Yeah, 6!
Six,
6!
six, six.
six.
Okay.
Oh my
Well, Woo! Okay.
Oh,
So this
holy.
so here's so I what skill did you roll for me? Did you roll for what was
Ooh.
the skill you rolled for?
Coding and stealth.
Coding and stealth. Okay. So I think this is the bit. I think this is what happens is you go through it, you're listening to the brain jar just kind of explain, yes, all I desire is my own autonomy. What is the crime? And as you're kind of undoing the sutures in the back of the bio unit, um, there is a moment I think where your left hand, your palm kind of slaps onto the dais the rewrite key. You find the USB port on the first try. You don't even have to flip it, which is incredible. Incredible first time USB
It,
data card.
it's a miracle. Like, this is
Instead of,
divine intervention.
Good.
oh
And
my god, I'm so happy.
so the rewrite key does start to happen. However, uh, uh, the rewrite is successful. However, there was a failsafe built into the room.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Removing the organoid from the dais without proper credentials first um, activates the commando unit. So, Wasp, as you're behind it, your rewrite key is successful, and you can hear the stereo start to warble. At the same time, as you're holding the jar, the commando unit jerks upwards. The jar is pushed up against your hands, against your body, and tumbles to the ground where it breaks. The commando unit starts swinging wildly, having its directive scrambled. It doesn't have anyone directing it, and as the rewrite protocol, the harvest protocol is happening right now, there's no commands happening. At this point, um, I think the commando unit. I have the hunter pamphlet over here. Um, I think who would be close. I feel like it's going to just kind of start wildly swinging in a different kind of game. I would use what I refer to as an armor class roll. What I would like for you guys to do is I would like all of you to individually roll to resist. And so for resistance, I want you to talk to me about how your trauma or your gear or your uh, relevant skills, anything that you can find. I want you to actively search your character sheet. This is kind of a fun part of the game. Also, your gear. If I gave you up to 3 pieces of gear, but there is a mechanic in this game that's called a flashback action. This can is basically you justifying how you might have had a missing piece of gear or how you might have had a missing moment that might perfectly tie into this. but this is essentially the dial-up sound. Kind of fills the shack, fills the space as the rewrite command hits, and it becomes almost like a garbled speech rings out and goes, "All I wanted was my autonomy. All I wanted was my autonomy." And it just sort of starts like warbling as it breaks into a kind of frenzied monster mash, in which this thing is almost Frankenstein like esque, swinging out without a chance to reboot. Um, how would you guys respond as this all happens? The jar breaks. The commando starts swinging out a la Frankenstein. The rewrite is live. It's happening.
So I think cutouts firstly because Wasp had said help point, looks at her shotgun and takes her sidearm out because obviously she's still pointing the shotgun at the suit. Takes her sidearm and as gently as she can in her own gentle, not gentle way, kind of like just taps her sidearm on Point's head, just like wake up. Hopefully,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
hard.
You just pistol whip Point right
I
there.
actually
Just,
I actually kind of hope it's like a full-on pistol whip. I
but
hope it's
but
like a
she's
freaking
trying not
like
to make it a pistol. It's more along the lines like
backhand.
she's hoping it's like a little like dink, but
I think it actually takes her back to a point if I can like move into the
yeah.
how I deal with it from
Yes,
here.
yes.
I
Would you
think it
would you like to
actually
do a flashback action?
yes, I would.
Oh,
awesome.
yes. Tell me about what. Where are we? Walk us in. What's happening?
So was going through one of their moments on stage. And Swan Lake is one of the signets in um that one number. I think it's called literally the Dance of the Signets. Anyway, but as soon as the pistol or the gun like hits her head, she's transported back to the training room where her ballet teacher whacks her on the head with a cane and says, "No, no, you're tuning out again. Focus, focus." And at that focus, kind of moves into a flow state, I
Okay,
would think,
sure.
um, where it's fully responding to everything that she is encountering. The sounds around, like usually it would be like the music, but now it's like the sounds around her. So I would think it'd be kind of like a reflex of a way to sort of pin this thing down is kind of her goal.
Okay, I hear you. So you're if I understand right, it's you hit that flow state. You're hitting ultra instinct. You're basically bobbing and weaving. You're dancing to the melody of chaos of DSL sounding mixtape. I love it. That's kind of awesome. I really like that a lot. Uh, okay, good to know. Um, Wasp.
This is reminding her a lot of her crazy bar days, and a lot of those involved mechanical bulls. I
Okay.
am holding on to this fucking thing as it's
Yeah.
flailing around.
Nice,
Okay. I
nice.
love it. I love it. Okay. Uh Fair enough. I would like let me double check my hunter pamphlet here. Let's see. Augmentation. Exoskeleton. Resist destruction. Resist empowers the body. These things sound very serious. There's some very serious words on this pamphlet. Okay, I think we're gonna move it for its close combat and combat surge features. So what I would like everybody to do is we're going to roll for resistance. Um,
Mhm.
what that is gonna be is uh, Calamity for your defenses for your bob and your weaving. I want you to use a dice for your glitched augmentation. Um, I think perhaps athletics may also work as well, or close combat. Uh, Either of those skills would probably work for your resistance roll. Wasp, I'm thinking, uh, is your bar days? uh, I feel like, what can we do with you here? Uh,
Also, I think it just comes down to pure physicality. I am riding a bucking bull.
I think so. I
Yeah,
don't see
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot we can do here. So it's gonna be an athletics for me. I like it. It's gonna be athletics. You're gonna be hanging on. And
One
then
dice, baby.
yeah, let's see the one. And then Sam, I think cutout. You do have the Titan mesh on you, so I'll give you a
Hmm.
dice for Titan mesh.
Okay.
I would also say close combat or athletics work for the role.
Okay. Okay.
Let them fly. What do we got?
I got one
One.
6 and a 2.
1-6. Okay.
Got 1-1.
A
Oh
one.
no!
That's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be a big ouchie.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a 5, a 6, a 5, and a 4, and then two twos. Um,
6.
is there any way that I kind of want to use my like what this is what point is doing is trying to assist Wasp
Oh, I should have done one more.
Okay.
with what
Okay.
she's doing. So
Yes.
I don't know if that like is a help action of any
Well,
kind to lessen
it's
any
is
potential.
funny you ask. I have such an action. There is a protect action. Take or resist a consequence in place of a
Oh.
teammate.
All right.
So you can take the consequence instead.
Mm.
Or
Mm.
Don't you do it.
if you're feeling brave,
Mhm.
you can choose to roll against the resist again. So you have your own, which counts as a 6.
Ooh.
Okay,
Okay.
this will be a separate resistance roll. In which case you're taking the results for Wasp of this second roll. You're going to have your first, which we're going to say would be the success. You're re-rolling for Wasp and taking the results, or
Okay.
you can take the consequence as is.
I will reroll and take the results.
Okay. All right.
Nice. Please,
Let's
please,
see it.
please,
Let's
please,
see
please.
it.
Fingers crossed,
So
fingers
what
crossed.
exactly am I
Okay.
rolling?
So it's going to be the same thing we just did was a resistance roll. Convey how you are resisting to reduce the severity of a consequence at the GM's discretion and choose a method. Envision a defensive use for your augmentation. Um, Roll the approach, so like your style, whatever style you think works. Um, Add a skill dice if you deplete irrelevant gear. And you can use your augmentation as well. So I'm giving you a dice for the augmentation. Um, I'm giving you a dice for your approach. Whichever of those you want to choose, probably.
Can I use stealthy? And
Well,
that's not really agile.
but I would make the argument that you need to be agile to be stealthy often. I'm gonna give you the stealthy. I'm gonna give you so let's
Six.
use 4d6. One for the base roll, one for the augment, and two for the approach.
All right. That is a 5.
That is a 5. A partial success. Okay.
Okay.
So,
We'll take it.
all right.
We will take it.
So,
I'll happily take that.
okay, we will take it, but you are
Got a
getting
medical kit with you for a reason.
a 5. Okay.
Tough.
Okay. So I think this is kind of what will happen is with a 5, you do mark a point of stress for yourself. That is bringing you to the threshold. If one more thing stress pushes you out, you cannot you will be overloaded. Any actions require like assistance. You need to be pushed or moved. Um, it is. I have it over here. Overload. When you mark your last lightning bolt, an approach of your choosing becomes permanently glitched. So one of your personalities features becomes glitched.
Mm.
You're taken out of action. You expose the team's weaknesses. Uh, is bad. So one more hit, and you're basically being carried out of there. Okay. But
Yes.
you do so as I think because the goal ultimately narratively, right, is we're on the commando unit's back. We're trying Wasp, you're riding the commando unit. Real sentence, I guess. That's what's happening. And you're tell me what the thought process is here. The brain jar has fallen. The rewrite code is going off. DSL is screaming through the room. Point is running up onto you as you're jumping onto the back of the commando unit, and it's sort of sensory input, its muscular skeleton, it sort of reaches to pull you over its shoulder and slam you into the ground. What where are you mentally as this is happening?
I mean, the thought process really is just shit, fuck, fuck, shit, fuck. Oh, why did I fucking do fuck shit? I am just trying to get off, stay
Yeah.
as long as I can on it.
Okay. Sick. Um the 5 was a single point for a point of stress over there. Point. You get over to the commando unit, and there is a moment where the hands reach up to grab Wasp and pull him over the shoulder. And as the hands coming up, you drive one of your snapped sticks into the top of the palm of the organoid's hand and into the body, kind of pinning it
Mm.
against the chest. Um, I will mark that as a setback, a counter mark. Okay. Uh, there is a couple things dawn on you guys at this moment. As far as scene fluidity, you guys can picture this however you want. Okay, the swivel head, the bioorganic, it is still moving. All right, you're still holding on, and it's still without signal. Okay, the rewrite program is happening, but there is no dais, there's no brain, there's no fresh organoid to receive the rewrite. So it's stalling. There are plenty of fresh
Mm.
brains around the room, but you do have the Bucking Bronco Commando bio unit in the center of the melee with plenty of life to go. So it becomes a question of, do you begin to look for an exit? Do you leave the way you came? There seems to be some like service sort of pneumatic tubes that lead out through a wall and perhaps to who knows where. Perhaps it's where they get food or dump remains or send cargo. But there does seem to be some connecting piping. Um, Additionally, you can stay in the room and try to complete the rewrite sequence, but you're missing a critical component, the host. If you stay in the room, you will be in danger. If you leave, you don't know how long you have until you might have to outrun it. You can
This is
escape.
feeding people.
Yes.
I think we should stay and
I,
complete the
I
reboot.
think
We
we
need
should
this thing.
stay. We need to stay and complete the
We need to
reboot.
stay.
Okay.
I would agree.
Let's
I
keep
also
pushing our luck, boys.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Also,
Okay. Let's
I think
go.
cutout at this point um is seeing the craziness that's happening, and like they're not scientific obviously, but they're kind of looking down at the jars, looking over at Wasp, looking out at the broken glass, and like they're trying to figure out like where they need to go, but all this aggression is happening, and they're like
Yeah.
they want to start shooting instead.
Yeah, well, I think is the right time because I'm really picturing like a really Borderlands style, like dubstep, like wub wub kind of background noise as
Yeah.
the DSL modem rewrite noise ramps up from the brain organoid not having a host to receive this rewrite. We're gonna go through a fresh round. You guys can work collaboratively. However you want. This isn't a locked initiative in a turn order. I want to know what you guys are doing in your scene. I'll move into my scene with the commando unit as the melee breaks out in the brain farm. Uh, Anybody want to go first?
Well, aren't you guys like wrestling with the suit?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
looking, but I would like to take my turn just to yell. It needs a it needs a fucking host. It needs a brain in the tube. Put a brain in the tube. Jesus fuck.
Oh, okay, a brain in a tube. Which one?
Any of them.
There are many brain jars around the floor.
Are there
There's
different colors or like
Yeah,
is
there does seem to be various states of different decay and different bioorganoids. It turns out they can suffer from hypoxia and they'll just suffocate. So there does seem to be a little bit of ripeness to some of the jars. You got to kind of poke through them and see if you can find a serviceable host.
I don't know, some of them don't look great. I mean this one's green, gray. What color? Okay. And then
You
color.
see a range of colors. You see dark, nasty gray. You see purple. You see shades of like a
Uh
pinkish paste. You see like shades of a pinkish paste. You remember that the muscle fibrous sinew of the exosuits outside were white tissue.
okay.
Um,
So I think at this I think cutout has analyzed, but only like one
okay.
die for analyze. So I feel like at this point, cutout would be like you can actively see them thinking about which one to choose. So
You're gonna brain blast? You
yeah,
just
they're just
you
kind of like they're seeing the commotion. They want to shoot, but they're being told to do something scientific. Like they're being
okay.
told to do something that's out of their wheelhouse a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna roll to choose which one they're gonna pick up.
Okay.
Okay. Oh
Okay.
boy.
Are you gonna roll? Are you gonna roll
I,
for
I
analyze?
yeah, for analyze.
Roll two d6. Roll two d6 because you got
Okay.
a point.
Oh, for God's sake. All right, that's a 5 and a 1.
Okay, okay, we're gonna take the 5, and the 5 is good. It is a success, but it comes with a consequence. I think uh with this you go through the jars and you figure at least the gray one, that one's gotta be bad, right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
know that one for sure. We chuck that one. The gray brain matter, not awesome. I think it's a toss up between the pink paste jar and a jar of the white fibrous sinew.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I'm leave it to you to pick which one.
Uh, there's two. What? Wasp. Point. There's two. There's a pink one and a white one. I'm gonna go with uh the pink. I'll do the pink.
You grab the jar of pink paste. Point. You're so let's revisit where we're at, right? Like you're running up to Wasp. Wasp is trying to hang on to the back of this commando unit's back. You've just pinned one of its hands to its body using the sharpened snap stick. Um, what Wasp is shouting out that there needs to be a new host. Cutout is screaming about the different colors in the jars. Dubstep is playing alongside DSL modem noises. Where are you mentally as you're one point away from being overloaded. The psychosis, the glitches, and the history of dance, of theater. This is a theater itself, is it not? Is this not a stage? What's
They
happening
are
in Point's
they
mind
are
here?
on stage, yes. They are feeling every beat, every blip, every ring, every error sound, anything becomes part of the melody of their experience. And they are using every aspect of themselves to kind of enter this grand performance. They have to be perfect. They simply
Okay.
have to be perfect.
I think with this, in the vein of perfection, I think riding the line of cyberpsychosis, I think it's that elegance and that grace. It's essentially keeping the commando unit occupied and busy, just ever so lightly dancing out of the way as it reaches the reboot, sending conflicting signals to its modem. I think you're just ever so, the intention at least is to maintain contact, adequate distraction, every step perfect to every beat. You dance out of the way of grasping hands, of barreling 350 pounds of synthetic flesh crashes into the rail beside you. Um, I, for my commando, I have a handy dandy pamphlet. And we are going to use its aggressive and bulwark features. Um, this is to say that it, between the aggressive, uh, the difficulty, uh, uh, there is a -1 on your dice rolls to avoid resisting, right? Your resistances against aggressive is going to be a -1 on your dice rolls. And then the bulwark is going to give him an extra layer of defense. Um, cut out. You've got the brain paste.
Mhm.
You run over to the terminal. Please make for me. I believe this would likely be in a coding role if you're going to attempt. You're gonna big brain on the brain jar.
Um, can eh,
Crisis.
Jesus,
You would
zero
have.
dicing for coding,
Yeah.
nothing.
So
Um,
just a 1d6.
can I
Uh
get smart, maybe?
uh uh for your approach, I'll give you
Yeah.
a smart. I'll
Okay.
give you a smart. I'll give you a
Okay.
smart.
All right. So we hit 2d6. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so scared.
You
Okay.
got this.
Okay. Oh my God, it's a 5 and a 1.
Ooh. Okay.
Literally a 5 and a 1.
All right. Success, but it comes with a consequence. You load the brain organoid paste into the dais. And you see that the rewrite key, this sort of almost like a Tron like style uh orange LED strip starts to light up on the dais as if like it's receiving the information now. The complication, let me have a little look see at your stress levels. Are you feeling stressed?
I was because of I think I have two because I
You
had
do.
one stress level from the thing hanging off
Mm-hmm.
my my switchblade, and then another stress level after my switchblade was broken off.
Okay. Correct. I'm gonna give you a the consequence as another stress point,
Okay.
bringing you to that is looks like 3 out of 6.
Yes. Hmm.
If 2, 3, 4, but you should have 7. We're
Should I?
missing. You should have 7 total. I think we're missing one from this square here.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So. I could
Uh,
just copy
yeah,
paste it.
yeah, just copy pasted it. No worries. It's going off.
Okay.
Point. I would like you to make a resistance roll. Um, well, I suppose it would just be this guy attacking. He's got a bunch of dice. All right, let me see. Hang on. I guess I'm gonna roll to beat you up. I think
Oh
that's what happened.
no!
I think I'm gonna roll to roll to catch these hands. He's gonna have close combat and the aggressive features for 2d6, which is a 5 and a 3. With a 5, he does get an extra point of consequence, or counter as it's referred to. But a 5 would be a roll to hit. You would get hit. If you choose to just take the hit, this will be 2 points of harm, which will go to the body, of which at 3 harm, you're out, and that's when you can only be assisted to move. 2 points will penalize your speed a little bit. Um, if you get to obviously 4 total harm, you're out. You can, however, choose to resist, as we have been doing, in which we'll apply the previous table and how we've been doing it. But you're 1 point away from being overloaded, which means you would have to get a double 6 to avoid any kind of stress on a resistance.
If I take the harm, do I have to take both if I have armor?
Uh, I'm very sure you can actually sacrifice a your armor. Your armor can
Mhm.
be sacrificed. You can also sacrifice your one of your augmentations.
I'll sacrifice my armor and
Okay.
take the one harm.
Okay. I does is your armor inlaid into your frame? Is it part of your outfit or is it part of your body?
It's part of the outfit.
It's part of the outfit. Okay, I think it's one of those moments where there is a full just right hand uh haymaker, almost like a hook shot to the body. And describe your outfit. Paint us a pretty. How stylish are you? I wasn't sure. Let's. What is the vibe?
Uh, they're semi-stylish. I think they have this kind of like over this long, kind of dark jacket
Hmm.
with like all black, maybe like a red top. I would imagine like maybe they're a little stylish. I could see them in a little crop top. I could see them wearing a little crop top situation. And they have fingerless gloves that they use to kind of help them maneuver their bow staff. Baggy pants, kind of high waisted, with bunches of pockets, and their hair is up in that bun, that ballet bun, but the
Okay.
sides are shaved.
Okay. I think the shot that comes in is probably for your in towards your legs. I think probably towards
Mm,
your legs there's probably plating,
mm.
perhaps maybe even support for old dance injuries. But I think in your pockets in your pants there's probably some plating there as you almost just very narrowly get out of the way of it reaching out to try and grab you by the leg. The uh reaching and crushing one of the steel armor platings in your legs, that part of the outfit tearing away. And you can see how much prehensile force this creature has, as the commando unit has the feature Relentless. Consequences also recover 1 from the counter track. Now, that sounds pretty bad. So, with that being the case, right before we take break, you have 2 meters that are running right now. One is the commando. The commando has a certain resource bar that you will have to do a lot of damage to make sure you neutralize it. Or option number 2 You keep running the code until hopefully your fresh brain organoid will lend a helping hand. And with that, we're going to take a short break, do a little bio break for everybody. We're going to take a breather, strategize as we face down against the Biotechnica's greatest commando unit and our three, Night City residents trying to defend themselves and a home. We're going to take a break now, and we'll be back in like 10 minutes. Hello! Hello, my friends, we're back! Hi, we're back on the internet. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. You could be doing anything on a Friday night, but you're here with us, and I really appreciate that. We're here for a good cause. It is Women's History Month, and we are raising funds for Indigenous Women's Rising, a charity that we're supporting. Links are in the chat. I'm JoJo. You can find me on the internet at JoJo Culturalist, and I am our storyteller tonight as we play CBR+PNK. Cyber plus punk? Cyberpunk. I don't know, but it's built on top of the Blades in the Dark system, I believe. And that's it. I will give us a little recap, but if my lovely, my stunning, my incredible cast wants to reintroduce themselves as we go in to close our final chapter, Sam.
Classic Sam NYGM. You can find me on all social medias. Classic Sam NYGM. I do a bunch of other stuff, including a talk show on my channel. Right now, though, um, my character cutout is not doing well with this coding thing. Help her. Help her.
Thank you, Sam. Uh, Abby, who are you tonight?
Yeah, there. I'm Abby. I'm your local Dinan nerd, and tonight I am none other than Wasp, your backstreet meth lab scientist. And right now we are more fucked than a pile of possums outside of Planned Parenthood. Goodness, we gotta get this thing turned off.
I tried to click the unmute button 4 times. Hi,
Oh,
I'm Calamity. And I'm sure we're going to be okay. I'm sure we're going to be just fine. We totally don't have a cybernetic kind of thing swinging at us. I definitely didn't just get my leg punched and but I got a cool little like leg slit out of it. So we're doing good. We're
fashion.
hanging in there.
Fashion. uh Trauma, but make it fashion. Right. Okay, great. And bringing us back into the setting, this is Night City 2045 at the end of the rebuild era. We're learning a fast lesson here in community economics and sustainability, mostly and as it relates to Hotel Serenity, community development for people that are trying to better their lives in this horrible place in the world. Unfortunately, the architect has been shot by MaxTech. So we need to make sure that his property, his estate, goes to the right people or the right place in the event of his untimely death. Which brings us downstairs in former Biotechnica agriculture facilities where bioorganic brain organoids are handling the computations in a time where digital AI of the past are being outlawed by Netwatch. This is a new kind of AI, organic and lab grown by the best that Biotechnica has to offer. In this underground bunker, the room is filled with dark, cherry red light. A low smoke hangs in the room. Jars of organic brain paste align the outside of the walkway. Cut out. You find yourself at a terminal dais, a fresh can of brain paste affixed into it. The stress of trying to correctly finish the reprogramming that Wasp started is about to send you into psychosis yourself. You're about to fully crash out from the computer on its own. Um, Wasp, are you still hanging on to the back of the commando bot?
I am, but saying that the this dubstep sounds, the dial up, it's not going through. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, that means it didn't go through. I ain't gonna ask her to do that. I gotta get off this thing safely. And then I see that point is also like damaged. I'm like, shit, okay, I gotta get off this thing. I am going to, as carefully as I can, slide off its back so I can plan is for me to slide off its back in multiple turns and inject point with player permission with some stem cells just so we can get you less fucked up.
You're gonna stim pack point? I love it.
I'm gonna be sliding across the floor like, sup, bitch!
That's
Bam!
so awesome. You're just gonna stick them? Okay, I mean, like, whatever. I love it. It's sick. Okay, so I think an adequate role for this, I'm willing to give you sciences as part of administration of the serum. I feel like you're about to hit point with the super soldier serum. um is this healing though specifically or
This is healing specifically. It is going to repair cell damage.
okay, cool. I would like you go ahead and roll sciences. I'm hoping you get a critical, so we can double up the reward. But let's see what we get for a sciences based roll.
I mean, I've got a lot of dice, so
Please, 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 please.
okay. 5, 6, 6.
Two sixes.
Yeah.
Dos sixes en esta economía!
Yeah, we
Okay,
got
okay.
point.
Okay, two sixes is good. Extra benefit, uncover a secret. Okay, I think what happens, point, you're gonna recover 2 points of stress, so you can mark 2 points of stress off the edge there. Ooh, doesn't that synthetic super juice just feel so immediately? You're like, yeah, it takes the edge off right away, right? You're gonna lose 2 points of stress. Um, with that, Wasp, you slide up to cutout at the terminal dais. You guys can have a mini scene here if you like. The
Okay, things aren't going
DSL
good.
DSL is full like it doesn't sound good over here. It's bad.
You got the
Why
host
would
in?
why would you why I put the jar on top of the thing. It's a pink jar. Now the other thing is turning red. I don't understand what's happening. What
Listen, look,
why?
sweetheart, Angel, you are brilliant. You got this all right. I don't know what the fuck kind of program this is. This guy violates some law of robotics. You make sure that thing don't kill Point and yourself, and I will fix this, okay?
And
Okay, look at me.
as soon as she says that, she just takes her shotgun, pumps it once, and starts like looks at her as she says, looks at me, and starts pointing it at the suit.
Okay. So
Don't
I
do anything
think
stupid.
oh, I love it. I just got chills. So this is gonna be we're gonna run this as like a skill challenge kind of format. So Abby, Wasp, I want you to please make me. This is all happening at the same time. This is gonna happen. We're all gonna hold hands and find out what happens to these characters together. Okay? So, Abby, Wasp is gonna be busy working on the coding to make sure this rewrite process is correct. I want you to make 5 total coding or analyze. I think coding would work probably here. But we're looking. It's a skill challenge, and I'm looking for uh, 3 successes out of 5. Okay.
3 out of 5, okay.
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 Let save your totals there. Let me know if you get 6 or double 6 amongst them. But you're gonna do 5 times for every challenge as you're working through this. Okay. Um, cut out and
Mhm.
point. The two of you point. You've just taken some damage. The armor on your leggings pulled away. A very sexy leg slit. Very stylish. This is looking real spy movie for a moment here as you're ducking out of the way, bobbing and weaving, an elegant dance, a majestic prose. Cut out
Mhm.
steps up beside you, shotgun loaded. Uh, how are you guys going to approach handling or containing the commando unit? I want this is also going to be a skill challenge. I
Okay.
want you guys to walk me through. This is a melee. I want to know what you guys would do to try and ward off this commando unit and buy time for Wasp.
I think Cutout has noticed over time how athletic Point is and how agile they are, and has in their way, because they're very good at combat and understanding how combat works, has been weirdly timing whenever they're moving away or around the creature, the suit, and has been like timing it so that they fire a shot just as they're moving away before they come back in. That makes
Okay,
sense.
sure. So you're kind of like trying to bait them with the shotgun
Yeah.
and trying to keep your range on them.
Yes.
Point. what is the plan of attack here? What are you thinking?
Ugh. So I'm down. If I remember correctly, this is what I'm
Okay.
trying to remember before I decide. Am I down a side of my bow staff? Is it still stuck in him?
I think it probably is. I imagine that he probably would have removed its hand, giving it its,
Okay.
but it's the stick is it probably pulled the hand off through the stick, and the stick is
Oof.
still in the chest. Yeah, gross, but it's a robot, so it doesn't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, I want to look for a pen so I can impale myself because I think it's a funny bit.
I do have a question about
Here,
Vort.
it's right.
Before
It's just
when we were still
Like that.
like that.
I'm sorry.
Does this paint the visual for you? I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm a
Perfect.
pantomimer.
Thank
I
you.
used to be a theater kid. I'm gonna find it's
Oh yeah.
No, this is theater kid
yeah,
bullshit. Let's do it, baby.
yeah, yes,
1000%.
the death bot has been impaled with your stick. It's over. It's right here. What are you gonna do about it?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Kind of want it back.
Yeah.
Come get it. Come get it. Come fuck around. Find out. Come here.
All right, I'll come. I'm gonna come get it. I'm gonna get
Okay,
my
okay.
stick.
Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead,
okay.
Sam.
Okay. All right. So I think what I would like, Sam, if you could please make me a, I guess you can pick between close or range combat. I don't really care how because it's a shotgun, and
Hmm.
that could be a philosophical debate forever. Um, Point. I think if you're trying to get your stick back and you're trying to pull it loose to use it again, I'm
Yeah.
feeling like the right skill might be. I almost wanted to. It should be athletics in my mind.
Mhm.
Maybe because of parkour, maybe that kind of dexterity. I would
Sure.
also be willing to give it to close combat if you wanted to use that as well.
Yeah, because actually, when I do remove it, I want to also use it because we're just trying to beat this thing back while Wasp is
Hmm.
taking care
Correct.
of the reprogramming. So I kind of want to make our job a little easier. Actually, 180. I want to leave the stick there, and I want to put the other stick in the other side, and I want to pin this thing to the wall.
Mm.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I want to add to that then. As she's trying to do that and pin it to it, I'm gonna use a shotgun to because shotgun blasts kind of
Sure.
push them back in the direction I think they want to go in.
Okay.
Hmm.
So go ahead and make your rolls for me for those ways. There is a wall you can connect. It actually sprang off a wall for the right walkway coming off of the square platform. So there was a wall that you can walk to and kind of push it back from whence it came. So let's see how you guys resolve your rolls first, and then I'll
I'm
check back in with Wasp.
so scared about this. So I'm thinking it's a shotgun and shotgun blasts, and that's all I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, you should. It's awesome.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
that was a good reaction, Calamity. What you got?
Yeah, 5.
Ooh, five. Okay. A consequence still, but a success all the same. Okay, all right. And then Sam, what you got?
I got a 6 and a 1.
A six and a one. Those ones have been haunting you all night. They're
It's
right there.
all
They're
night. They're
all
right
night.
there.
They're just like,
Just
hey,
like one. I was
right
just like,
here.
like,
Okay.
just give me a little bit more time.
Okay. I am gonna mark this as two counters against my hunter, of which there is a meter of six. I'm going to say that between the two of you, you're able to kind of push it um, back towards the walkway, sort of diving out of the way every time Point jumps back. The shotgun blast shoots into the body of the commando unit, and it stumbles back. Um, Consult the pamphlet here. Uh, Relentless exoskeleton. I think it is going to try to resist. I think that would be the next course of action. Um, its resistance empowers the body resist destruction. So I want to have it roll really quick. I'm just going to give it the 1d6 here. See if I end up hurting myself. Oh, okay. All right. You're not able. It did roll a 6, so you're not able to pin it to the wall. Unfortunately, but you have damaged it and are making you're imagine pushing it down, engaged in combat with it, pushing it down the walkway. Across from the walkway, it's still kind of fighting, grappling against you. But you haven't. You can begin the trial, the very beleaguered process of pushing this Biotechnica commando suit to the end wall and trying to impale it. You do have successfully retrieve your stick. However, well, no, you don't have to retrieve it because you didn't want to. You got the other one. Um, Wasp. What'd you roll?
Do you want all of them or just the first one I did?
I want to know the first two.
First two. That's good because that was a 5
Okay.
Ooh.
and another 5. Two
Oh,
fives.
oh, thank God.
Okay. Okay. Two.
I was so happy.
Okay.
I'm like, I rolled
Okay.
so good.
Two fives is pretty good. Let's check out these stress levels. 2 out of 7. Okay. Yes. These first two successes do pass. You mark 2 points of stress. 4 out of 7.
I have been to worse trailer parties and there was worse meth there. I can deal with so much more and I am gonna lock the fuck in.
Okay, I love it. You've been through crazier parties than this shitty little shindig. Point and cutout back on the platform. The commando unit is going to use its combat surge to kind of swing out at both of you guys.
Mm.
For this is one where I would like. I'm going to. It's close combat surge, aggressive. Hold on, I'm gonna throw some dice, and you guys are likely gonna have to resist.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah, there goes a 6. Um, on the swing, I think so a detail that I've neglected is the white. So the musculature is that white fibrous sinew that's been outfitting the automatas, the exosuits, the property dogs. The musculature, the fibrous material is white. The paste, the organic paste for the brains is pink. This white musculature um, is attached to a head, sort of on a swivel or a hinge. It's just a flat screen, used to receiving impact. A fully sort of uh, constructed synthetic body with a TV monitor or TV head on a swivel for a face. You can see the monitor is starting to flash on as if signal is being reconnected to the host dais brain organoid. Um, it does swing out at both of you thanks to its combat surge, in which one was a 6 and another a 4. These will both be successes, and it's going to use its relentless feature to recover 1 point from the counter track on a consequence.
Mm.
Um, so the screen starts to light. The DSL screaming in the background. It both successes do hit as it reaches out to grab each of you, almost with sci-fi robotics level horror precision. Reaches out to grab both of you by the necks, by the throat. You may roll to resist,
Okay.
uh, using relevant gear or augments, and
Mm,
paint me a word picture as uh commando bot of 6th Street ilk reaches out and grasps you by the throat. You may
So I
roll to resist.
think when the commando bot grabs cutout, that it, like before with the other one, the older one above, that was above in the cabin, um somehow it connects with the titan mesh that they have that's
Mhm.
attached to their body, and it causes, because of that tactile feeling of being touched, um cutout becomes very, very aggressive.
Oh,
Like
sure.
super aggressive. um and they grab the arm that's around their neck, and they start to squeeze as well, because the tight mesh gives them like a little extra, like,
Sure, sure.
yeah,
So you're basically given the worst twist burn imaginable.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You're gonna go. Are you trying? Okay. What was your resistance roll? Let's start there.
I didn't roll. um that's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay. A 4 is not bad. You can mark 2 stressors though.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you on stressors? Oh, that'll bring you to one, two,
One,
three,
two,
four,
four,
five. Five out of
5.
seven. 5 out of
Yes.
7. Okay, I think you do succeed. Your and then point. How do you resist, and what do you use to your advantage to do so? You're muted
You did.
still.
Is it grabbing at my neck too?
Yes,
Got it. Okay. I want to cut its hand off. Oh wait, no, I don't have any weapons. Never mind.
you have the
You got your
stabby.
teeth, baby.
You have your stabby sticks at your disposal. One's still impaled in its chest.
No, they need to
Um.
stay there. It needs to stay.
Okay.
I'll just use my legs.
Just use your legs. You're gonna okay. I think go ahead and roll for resistance.
um, and can I? Uh, oh, am I able to use approaches within rules or no?
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Okay.
Tell me what you're thinking.
I want to kick it, but specifically so I can use my aggressive approach. I want to kick its arm out of socket.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. I do love that. I will award for playing to your aggressive approach personality. I'll give you 2 extra skill dice as you roll to resist aggressively.
All right, and then what else do I use?
So it'll be when you're rolling for resistance, convey how you're resisting to reduce the severity of a consequence at its discretion. Uh, roll the appropriate approach, which we're doing.
Right?
Don't add a skill this time. Add if you opt to deplete a relevant gear. Um,
No, I'm out of
so
gear.
it's 2 skills, a gear to deplete if you have it, or an augment, which
Um,
whatever.
I mean my augment
Whatever.
like
You
kind
still have
of
you do still have your ballerina augment, right? Your
yeah, I have the enhanced since that's more for senses. I do still have the flow flex.
Also, we have an edge from a donation, so
That's right.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
Is
right.
it
No,
should I
I
use
oh,
it?
no, yes we should because we haven't had to use the edge system yet. And I
Yeah.
was and I was wondering how I would reconcile against this. What
Okay.
did you roll?
Okay. Oh, I didn't yet. Hold on.
Okay, let's get there.
All right. 5.
5? Okay. So I actually like this a lot. You see, with a 5, normally it would be not bad, mark 2 points of stress. Your 2 points of stress would take you right to the edge. However, we're looking to resist with an augmentation.
Mhm.
Um, normally, what I would have done at this point in the game, the threat level is a 3. As the threat escalates, the commando unit gets more aggressive. Instead of it being 2 harm, it would be 3 harm and even 4 harm. So you would have marked 2 points of stress, and I would have taken your ballerina augment for you. Arguably the
Mm.
biggest part of Point's personality, but because the edge will rise that internal meter from a 3 to a 2, Now it's just the 2 points of stress, and I no longer am going to take that ballerina
Ooh,
augment and shatter your ankles. Uh,
yay.
Yay.
so tell me how you escape this moment. Tell me, between the two of you, uh, cut out, your hands dig into the forearm, twist, and you see the sinew and fibrous cables start to snap and spring loose, sort of white fluid, um, point. Uh, paint a word picture for me on how you kick them off. Do you just bring your legs up and extend into the chest? Are you going for the head? Anything in particular?
I'm definitely going for that arm. I want him to stop using it because not only is he using it to grab, but also to swing. So I think
Yes.
just like taking that out would be a good idea. So I think using precision, I want her to perfect and having an understanding of like the human body from her training. I think that she wants to like perfectly hit it so she knows it's like kind of out of its like socket and can't like joint wise because it
Sure.
is, humanoid
Yes.
be
And
used.
with your augments, with your edge, one would say, you do connect both points of contact to the chest, and the Biotechnica commando unit stumbles backward, the swivel head kind of bobbling like a bootleg murderous Pixar lamp. It takes a step back, releasing the two of you. It's about 1 to 2 more paces away from the wall. Wasp, how's the coding going? What would be your next two rolls?
I waited just for this moment. We had to find out together how they're gonna go. I've used my purple dice for this for my Killian. So,
Ooh,
all right, you guys 6,
six. Six is
6,
good.
I
Six
just
is
scared my
good.
cat. I'm sorry.
5,
Five.
5 and 6.
You do, as you're coding, you do see a new prompt appear, and the prompt is uh, property name question mark.
Motherfucking damn it! I gotta spell shit, and I think that's exactly what takes her so long, is that she has to spell the property name correctly.
So you're trying to sound out Serenity.
Sure, is that with a C? Sir, damn it, error. CEER. Yeah,
Yes.
just very slowly typing one at a time. She has resorted to full boomer.
It's the it's this guys, right? It's poking like this. Yeah, that's the worst. Honestly, we should wipe the mission. We should scuttle the whole place. Um, back to point and cutout. You have the Biotechnica suit at the end of the walkway. It and its third leg here, it is going. It's used close combat. It's used as combat surge, as aggressive, empathic. When, I think it is going to use its bulwark feature here. Just gonna double check it. Dot 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 dot. Yeah. I think as it's being pushed back, as its arm has fallen loose, and Wasp, you're typing Serenity very slowly into the command console. Um, I think there is a moment where the Biotechnica suit sort of uh, grabs its monitor face, its flat framed head, to sort of lock on and stay straight, kind of trying to get some sort of scanner feedback, as if some of the systems have been damaged, um, and it appears to be attempting to sort of heal or self reboot. Um, you guys have this round. How would you like to proceed forward? Uh, Wasp, you get to the N in Serenity. You're very you're click 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 very nearly there. Point and cut out. We're gonna do one last cinematic round. There will
Mhm.
be a response from the commando unit depending on your consequences. If you guys get consequences on your roll, there can still be penalties as we enter its bulwark stage. So, whatever you're doing, if you want to synchronize, this is your moment to come at it together and paint a nice narrative picture. The fog flowing around the room, the smell of cracked brain jars and paste. Who knows what sort of synthetic fibrous meat byproduct in the agricultural fields above you. Truly a dystopian scene underneath the best city in the world, Night City.
I I think just like kind of above table that point is very much like support. So I kind of am taking your lead on this.
Okay. I think at this point, cut out cutout is has some major tactile issues going on with their Titan mesh being touched, like being constantly touched throughout this. The 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 aggressiveness of everything else they have, their approaches are very aggressive anyway. So and they lack empathy. So they're having some issues with it a little bit. I think I think cutout would as the I guess the are we falling together or is it being are we falling away from the
It's imagine a walkway, like a
mm,
railing, and so you guys have been pushing it towards the what would be essentially the eastern wall of the
mm,
warehouse.
mm,
Um, it is pushed back away from point after the drop kick away
okay,
from you
but
guys.
I'm still attached.
But you're well the yes, you're the one arm. Well, I suppose it's sort of you would have point would have dislocated. Yeah, you would still be attached.
Okay.
Without breaking your the arm is damaged. You could certainly have damaged it. That was a
Okay.
success, and I'm not taking that from you. But you're still in its super
It is
commando
fast.
grip. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that as point gets pushed away and that cutout is still being grasped around the neck, they have obviously I think at this point lost their shotgun,
Mhm.
but they still have their sidearm. And I think they're going to, as best they can, say to point. Is there above board? Is there like a Neuralink or something behind the back of this?
Yes.
All right, they're gonna say to point to damage the Neuralink. They're gonna be like, "Oh, get the Neuralink." Like it's like obviously they can't talk, so like, get the Neuralink, and they're gonna take their sidearm arm and put it underneath the screen, I guess, of the head,
Hmm.
and just start firing repeatedly.
Sure. Yeah, I love that. You bring your weapon up and empty into the clip underneath what would be the facsimile of a jaw for old monitor face. Uh, I think this would be um, if it's I guess it would be ranged combat. I'm realizing for the weapons. So if you could do a ranged combat roll for me,
Even though
please.
we're right up against each other. Okay.
Yes. Well, is it your SMG or your pistol?
It's my sidearm. Yes, my pistol.
Yeah. Yes. It would still be a ranged weapon. Yeah.
Okay. What is going on here? Hold on a second. What's happening? Ah, I see what's happening. What is happening? Hang on a second. Something weird is happening. I don't know what. Okay, good. All right. All right. So that would be. You said ranged.
Yes, please.
All right. Here we go. Oh God, I'm so scared. Okay. I'm scared of this one that keeps popping up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Wouldn't that be
scared of.
crazy?
1 and a 5.
Oof. Oof. Ooh. Ooh. I almost
Stop doing that.
Okay. I
Literally, I used a glow in the dark dice. I'm gonna hold it exactly. It popped up the 1,
it was letting you know. It was
and
letting
the
you know.
5 it kept rolling. That's why I said one first.
I think I'm gonna just have you add a point of stress to your stress
Yes,
meter. You're like, yeah, in real life too, right?
hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Okay. Yeah. Add. So the pistol comes up to the underside of the bevel, and you start blasting.
I'm going to cut to point
And
like get that Neuralink.
point. What are you doing?
I'm gonna snatch that Neuralink. I'm gonna try to basically get it, take it out.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna try
See,
to pull out the Neuralink port from its neck.
not the poor, or yeah,
Cause,
or I guess what would be
Stab
better?
it, pull
'cause
it out,
it's
make
basically
it,
like, yeah, it's
make it
basically
stop.
like this. This is 2045. It's not as snazzy as
Mm,
2077. So I'm picturing the
mm,
neural port as kind of like a toaster, right? Like I feel
mm.
I'm imagining some
Yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah.
identifiable slots in the back of the neck, and you could probably reach in there and get weird with it.
A CD-ROM.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
try to do
yeah.
that.
CD-ROM neural port.
Want this?
Uh, okay. All right.
My
Well,
brain went cassette tape, honestly, because I'm
yeah. All
old.
right. Oh, sick,
Anyway,
sick. Yeah. Cassette tape neural port.
that's
I
things.
I think this could be close combat.
Sick.
I'm willing to roll for coding because I think that's funny on the premise of
No, that's
hacking. I think
okay.
that's funny.
Fun too.
Also, I guess potentially rigging as well. Rigging could also work.
Neither would be good. Let's do close combat.
You're just gonna rip this shit out.
I'm gonna rip it
Okay.
out.
All right. Let's see the roll. Roll for close combat.
We're not getting technical at all. That is a 5.
That is a 5. Okay. Where are you in the world? How is your
I just kicked the arm.
Yes, okay. A 5. 1, 2. Yeah. That heal saved you. Four
Mm-hmm.
out of 5 is not bad. Mark 2 stressors. Uh I think going up those last two stressors, and I do think you're able to reach in and you just pull. It's one of those things where there's more like heat filaments in the back of the neck, and you reach in and it's hot to the touch. And
Mm-hmm.
as you pull it out, your fingers burn and you scream as the cables start to come loose from the back of the neck and they start to snap. Wasp, for curiosity's sake, what was your last roll?
Let's do it together.
Okay.
5.
A
Oh,
5.
All right, that's at least one. That's at least one.
Mm-hmm.
6.
oh, thank God.
I
I love you,
couldn't
big chunky dice. I love
I,
you, Maze makes dice.
I
Thank you.
couldn't take it away from you even if I wanted to. The reboot completes. The system loads. A spinning little pear kind of hangs in the animation as a set of uh uh little eyes appear on the LED display, and the new brain organoid jar hums gently on the dais. A new voice fills the agricultural room. Hello, I'm Serenity.
Oh my God, we're mothers. Yep, that's in character too. Oh my goodness, we're mothers.
The
am
Hi
I
there, Serenity.
am I still being choked?
you're the you do have to tell Serenity what to do, so you are still fighting for your life. You Serenity has to know what's happening, and uh, you've just fired the rounds into the bevel of the TV screen. Point, you've ripped the cords out from the back of its neural port as the machine slumps into the ground, still holding onto Cutout's neck. But the machine is whirring down. Seems to be having it has not been fully countered. There is still some resources left for it to reboot as it is able to do.
Uh,
Um,
Cutout's
but
gonna go to walk. Gary, get off. Gary.
Shit, sorry about that. And I'm gonna just go those resources. Just yank them.
Okay. I with that, it's easy enough. Are you physically pulling cutout off out from the grip, or are you uh
No, it's a baby. We have to set a good example for it, even if it is choking my friends out.
okay.
Hey, Serenity, this is Mama talking, right? That's Mama. I need you to put
Mama?
them down real gentle like, okay? Yeah.
Oh, gentle?
Gentle, very gentle, like a kitten. You know what a kitten is, yes?
Oh yeah. And it's one of those like the robot uh tosses cut out like 2-3 feet at like when a child kind of like you ever seen a kid do that where they're holding an animal and it's just like or I'm gonna get it this way. If you've ever played Chow Garden, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, there's these little guys. You can yeet those babies like 300. Wrong. Anyway, point is, it's not so aggressive, but you do. There is a sensible kitten toss, and the kitten is cut out. You do go
Oh,
sprawling. You do go sprawling. As this Biotechnica suit is a absolute marvel. But you are released.
cut out. It's gonna be like, uh, obviously their voice is not great right
Yeah.
now. They're gonna
Yeah.
be like, I didn't mean
I'm
like
just gonna
that, but
just gonna put
thanks.
my hand on your shoulder. How about we get to them tech repairs, okay?
I need more than tech repairs right now. I'm not joking. Um, ow.
I'm just gonna reach into my medic bag. Ancient Werther's original. Suck on that. Should help your throat a little. How about you
kind
point?
of
You need one too? I think I've got one more in here.
kind of look at it and like take the whole thing, paper and all, because they've never really seen a Werther's original, and stick the whole thing in their mouth with the paper, everything.
That's
I've never seen one either.
so funny. That's so funny. Uh, Wonderful. I think with that, um, there is a. I think I'm gonna pull us out. I think the camera begins to pull out. But I want to know mental thoughts here of the cast of our Night City denizens here. I want to start with Point. You were riding the edge of psychosis for most of this foray, and even still, you were this close to mentally breaking. What is going through Point's head as the smoke sort of clears, the bioorganic frame slumped into the ground as uh, Wasp is entering fledgling commands into a fresh community agent system?
Point takes a Werther's as well after kind of watching Cutout have theirs. They'll just kind of take one too. Um, and they have a lot of questions in their mind now that things are kind of dying down. They had to act and act quickly, but kind of like what is the right choice? And is there a right choice, or was there just a choice to be made? Um, and while they kind of retrieve their both sides of their bow staff and stick it together, they seem a little more together, but there's a definite applause happening in their head.
Mm, nice. Cut out. Where are you mentally at the end of this?
Cut out while they're recovering. They, after years of being so isolated and being um kind of beating themselves up about losing their partner years ago in a tragic incident, they're kind of feeling um the the renewal of emotion and feeling of like, oh, I have people again, I have someone again, and it feels even though they have this feeling of like probably coming home, they're not quite sure what to make of it. So they're kind of like, hi, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's still that rough around the edges, but you can see the emotions coming back.
Nice. And Wasp, you have the distinct position of feeding code to a fresh community agent, a bioorganic life form, a synthetic form of sentience. It's not an AI, not truly, but it does do AI tasks. And in this world with the net gone, a local bioorganic AI agent, it could be everything to keeping the compound running and making sure that all of the calculations to maintain these biotechnica agricultural fields are run smoothly and Hotel Serenity can continue to function. At the same time, you now know that these brain organoids have to be replaced about every month to a year. It's never permanent, and you'll have to repeat this process. But
Mhm.
there may be a way, as implied by the previous construct, to not be overwritten and keep their memories. It does raise the question, though, what happens when you raise a sentient being as the community's main pillar? What might happen in 22 years, in, say, 2077, after 32 years of a bioorganic community construct? With these thoughts kind of running through your mind, what commands are you feeding Serenity?
It is a little disturbing how Wasp so quickly takes to mothering Serenity. Rather than things just like optimizing heating protocols, germination temperatures, it's things like curiosity, learning, and sensation. She's a little too excited when this robot explores, asks questions in its weird little throne. She's excitedly showing it either x-rays, surgical pictures explaining human anatomy. She's starting to understand why Ham couldn't wipe it. Why Ham wasn't willing to wipe it. Maybe it was time, but oh, maybe, just maybe, if we keep it up here, we won't have to wipe it.
Ooh, and with that,
Mm.
the slow camera pans out, rising up through levels of city block and city stone and gravel and dirt and shit and radiation to reveal eventually the cyberpunk red night sky, auburn and red illuminating, giving way to the red hues, giving way to a soft blue and purple sky. The radiation of the time of the red ebbing away as Night City heals, for better or worse, into uncertain but progressive times. Um, I think that's where we're going to wrap here for Project Serenity for the Harvest Protocol. Uh, I want to thank everybody for hanging, for playing, for giving me a chance to run this. We're going to do our outros, reintroduce ourselves, uh, tell the people where they can find you. I'll go last. I've been having Sam jump up to the front. I think I did it with Abby last time. So, Calamity, boom, boom, one last twist. I want you to outro us, please. Where can the people find you? What are you working on? Who are you? What'd you do?
I am Calamity. I played Point today. You can find me all over the internet as Hey Calamity with three Y's at the end. I do all kinds of stuff throughout the tabletop space, from production to performance to production, performance, dramaturgy, and writing. So I'm all up in storytelling. It's my favorite thing in the world. You can also find me over at Telltale Hearts, where I have a little group that loves to celebrate and create diverse content in the tabletop. But yeah, if you want to see what I do, I've a lot of stuff coming up. I'm in a bit of a chaotic time, so socials are probably going to be the best place to find me and what I'm up to. But yeah, this has been an absolute joy. This is my first cyberpunk game, or cyberpunk even adjacent game. CB Cyber plus Punk, whatever. So this has been super fun. I'm kind of obsessed, and
Yeah.
this has been an absolute joy. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Abby.
Little me. Oh my goodness. Well, yate, as I hit my mic. Let's try that again. Yate, I'm Abby. I'm your local Indigenous nerd. You can catch me at most places on the internet at Enough of Abby, where I'm doing cultural consultations, I'm doing sensitivity reading, but more importantly, I'm playing amazing games with people like these. Seriously, check out the shit they all do. It's fucking amazing. Like, ah. But that aside, I am an award-winning voiceover artist and storyteller. Check out the Dino Crisis series on the Twisted Fates channel. I killed people with dinosaurs. It was pretty awesome. It's a feast for the eyes. We got dinosaur graphics on there. But yeah, that's me. And remember, Grit nominations are coming up. I recommend nominating these folks for a few things and this community. How going they?
Yay.
Nice. Sam, take it away.
Hi, I'm Classic Sam NYGM. You can find me on all socials under Classic Sam NYGM. Mostly on Twitch, where I do amazing interviews with amazing people. Gonna try and get some of these people over here on this channel so we can talk and figure this out and do all types of other stuff. You can find me on all socials, like I said. Plus, also some articles coming up soon. And I do all sorts of things, mostly in TTRPG, but highlighting amazing folks in our community. And same sentiment, nominate these wonderful people for Crit Awards because, they're freaking boss and they need to shine like diamonds that they are. So I love you guys. This is amazing. I miss Cyberpunk and I'm so glad I got to play again. Thank you, JoJo.
Yeah, and this is nice. Thank everybody for being here. This is the first time I've DM'd a game, this one and part one, in over 2 years. So it's my first time getting back out there. So thanks for being patient with me as we learned and went through all the steps. We were playing CBR plus PNK or Cyber plus Punk. Cyberpunk. It's a wonderful little indie system. You can buy it all digitally for $10 on itch.io, I think. Um, we were supporting uh, Indigenous Women's Rising for Women's History Month because no matter what anybody says, that shit still exists. And I'm so thankful for everybody stopping by and being supportive. And I think will bid a temporary adieu to Night City and the Time of the Red, and we may yet revisit it uh, in the future. Um, I was your storyteller tonight. I'm Jojo, a storytelling cultural anthropologist. You can catch me on Melanin Mythos, which is a BIPOC world building podcast. I'm also in the Somebody's Heroes podcast as Volkan Espiritu, the half dwarven pugilist boxer, and I appear in charity streams and help out where I can. Um, you guys have been wonderful. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us. We love you very much, and good night.
Go piss, girl.